Hello viewers. So today we are going to install Fedora Server version 42. This is the latest version on VirtualBox as a VM. So first we can download the ISO file. I mentioned this path from where you can download. So I already downloaded this file to save the time. So here I placed in the software directory. I placed this file. So the size is around 2.75 GB. Then we can start to create the virtual machine. So first we can create one virtual machine. Click on new, and we can put the name like Fedora 42 gold, and we can select the where it should keep the configuration file. So in my case I kept all configuration file on this directory, and we can select this CPU and memory. 2 GB memory is fine. Then we can select the hard disk. So here we can mention like 45 GB hard disk is also fine. Then we can click on the network section. Here we need two network interface. The first one is NAT network, which is used for the internet connection, and the second interface is used for the SSH connection. Okay, here we can select host only adapter and also select allow all, then click OK. And now we have two interfaces. One is NAT network and another is host only. Then we can start the installation process. It will ask for the mount that ISO file. We can select our path. Here we can select this ISO file and click on mount. And in this page we can select the first one, install Fedora 42, and press enter. It will take a couple of minutes to come off that UI screen. Once the UI screen will come, it will ask some of the inputs from the user, like the disk you want to select, and some of the like language you want to use, and some of the account creation process like root account and some of the normal user. So we can wait for that. Yeah, now the US screen is coming. Now in this page we can select like your preferred language. So here I select English as the preferred language, then hit continue. And in this page we have couple of parameters we need to select, like the system configuration disk and the some of the user setting like root account and some of the normal user. First click on the system, and here several options are there like automatic, custom and advanced custom. So we can keep the default, that like the automatic one, and select this disk. What is it? Yeah, but no disk selected. Yeah, yeah, the disk is selected. Then we can click on the root account. Here we can click enable root account, and we can set the root password. It will ask for the some of the like short password, allow root SSH, because later we can directly SSH to this host using putty, that is the SSH client. As the root password is short, that's why it asks 2 times. We need to click this done. Yeah, then user creation, I can put full name user1, password user1, user1, same, done 2 times. Yeah, now we can start the installation process. Begin installation. It will take couple of minutes. We were downloading all the packages. Yeah, and once the installation is completed, then we can configure this static IP, because we provision two interface. First one is used for the internet connection, and the second one we will use as a host only network. Through this second one network, we can SSH from our host machine to this guest VM, okay, using putty. So for that we can use these commands. Let this installation completed, then after that we can configure this static IP. Now in the screen you can see it is loading the kernel modules. Almost 600 packages are there, almost 400 is completed. There is many packages they will install. Meanwhile, I can edit our static IP in my note, so that when the installation is completed, then we can directly copy paste these commands. So here we are using 192.168.56.25 we can pass. And once the installation is completed, then we can pick this interface name using this first command, nmcli connection show Then we can pick the interface name, that is the host only interface name. Then accordingly we can change this interface name. One second. Here we can mention our local IP 192.168.56. So take it as 25. Okay, let's check the status. Almost 600 packages are installed. Very few of them are left. Now it's configuring this AC Linux package. Now, I mean, in Fedora server, we can configure the static IP set static IP using the nmcli command. This is the command nmcli. Now it's configuring the kernel core component. Yeah, so coming to this static, how to set the static IP address. So the first thing is that using the nmcli we can check the what I mean the interface name. Basically it will show the interface name. Then after that we can set the it will show the connection name. After that we can set the interface name and IP address, and we can put it as a manual, because by default it is select as DSCP, but in our case we need to set it as static IP. Then we can bring up the connection, or that is the S8. So we can wait for that to complete this installation procedure. The installation steps is very straightforward, so that's why I did not mention much here in the step number 4, what we seen in the UI. Now it's configuring the kernel core components. Now it's configuring the formats component. installing the bootloader. Creating the init RAM file system. Almost in the last phase. So this time the Fedora 42 is the latest version available in the Fedora site. Yeah. Now we can see the complete. The it successfully installed all the packages. Now we are ready to reboot the system. Click on the reboot system. Now click the first one, server edition. It will booting up from the hard disk. Yeah, hopefully the ISO file automatically detached. You can see it's like empty. We can wait to bring up the system. Now we can see the login screen. So here I used login as root and the password I passed. Now we can see the root login. So here we can set the static IP. First we can check the IP address assigned by the system. Yes, so here we have assigned two interfaces. The first one is that S3 and the second one is S8. You can see in S3 this is assigned as NAT network, so automatically the DSCP will provision one IP address to this interface, but the second one you can see it is remain blank. So we can take this second one, that is S8 interface as a static IP interface. Okay, so now we can configure this static IP. So we have couple of commands are there, like nmcli connection show. nmcli connection, we can start from, take the start from conn connection show. Yeah, now you can see the second one, that is S8, is like some of the orange color. Okay, so that means it's not active. The first one is active, so we can assign the IP address in the second interface. So but the connection name is like some enp0s8. Okay, so enp0s8. Let me copy this command. I think the copy paste is not allowing something. Share the clipboard bidirectional. Is it work? Let me try it again. No, it's not working. So we can manually type this one. nmcli connection modify. enp0 is set enp0 is set ipv4 ipv4.8 this is 192 160 192 168 56 56 25 we can take, and the connection modify we need to double check is that double code is required or not. We can remove that one. Yeah, so we can put this as manual, modify this one, IPv4 method. Let me double check this line. We need this for static IP, this manual. Okay, then we need to bring up that connection, nmcli connection off, connection off. Yeah, now you can see the connection successfully activated. We can double check whether the IP is assigned to the second interface or not. Now you can see whatever IP we mentioned, that one is assigned to the enp0 asset, that is the last interface. Okay, that 20.25 IP. Now we can log in to this IP from our host machine, so we can minimize the screen. Yeah, I already installed this putty. So here user1 192.168.56.25. so I can put it like a Fedora 42 gold. I can save this one and now open the connection. It will ask some of the message, then you can put like accept, then the user1 password I mentioned here. Yeah, now we can see the user1 login screen, and from here this screen we can switch to root user, like sudo su hyphen, that is the root user. Then we can put the password of the root. Yeah, so I mean we can directly connect through the root user, but before for that we need to edit some of the file. etc.ssh. Let me double check that file. Which file? That configuration file. SSD. Yeah, I mean this file. We can edit that file. SSD, this file. Here we need to enable the root login, permit root login somewhere. Need to add this line. Permit root login as yes. Then save this file. WQ. Most probably we need to restart this SSH service. Here we go. System control. I forgot that command. Let me reboot this machine so that it will be, the service will be restarted. I will double check what is the command. Now it is rebooted this system. Then we can directly log in using the root user in the putty. Instead of using normal user and switch to root, then we can directly log in as a root user. Yeah, now we can minimize this screen and directly go to this putty. We can close this one, then create new session. Fedora 42 gold, we can select load this one, and here we can mention instead of user 1 root, I can save this one and open. Now it will ask root password. Now you can see the root prompt is coming. Now it is provision this file system, and later I will show you like we provision 45 GB disk, but it is actually taking like 15 GB. We can extend this file system. Okay, so this much for the Fedora 42 installation. We can also check, I think it is OS release. What is the version name? Yeah, you can see Fedora Linux 42, and this is the server edition. And one important thing is that you can check what is the, I mean, how much resources they are using. It's very much less as compared to UI. If you take the desktop edition, it is taking much memory, but in server edition it is taking very little bit, like 300 or 400 of memory, MB of memory. Yeah, that's it from today's session, so we can see you next time. Thank you.